you can ask those entities to tutor you. You can
Yeah.
ask archangels to tutor you. Like literally. Like, hey, I understand you have these ideas and rules about your realm. Because actually, I've realized that you do this stuff, dude. To be real with you, as I've said, it is true that the Creator God has his issues, and the Bible is very flawed. But what they told me is think of it like a history book. Like that's what happened. Like those things were sort of refer to historical events. Like the flood and the rainbow is metaphorically and literally what happened. Like the creator of this world did a hard reset, and that's what he wanted to do, and he regretted it because he is a soul just like us, even if he knew God. So there are things like above him and helping him. He even has a God. Like we live in his matrix, but he has a God above him that he worships that helps him and is teaching him these things about Godhood. But like you can ask that entity because he's quite literally like Christianity's fucking real. Like the Christian God is the creator of this world. You know, you can hate on him. Lots of people do. But this is his world. Literally.
Hey,
like,
it's
I
Fluffy.
see that like objectively. And you can ask those people to help you. You can ask the archangels or God himself to tutor you in quote unquote magic in a way that he finds appropriate.
Hell
And
yeah.
that sounds powerful. You know, angelic magic is powerful.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
Masa.
I've always thought it was really interesting. There's an archangel with the same name as me. I've always like kind of resonated with that.
You know, I have welcomed them 1,000 times in my daily rituals before archangels of that ritual. And I do find them impressive and interesting. And I'm into it. You know, even though you might not think so. And actually, I was very anti-Christianity until I started exploring this stuff in the heavens, and I figured out, oh, you know, I may be anti-Christianity, but turns out that's a big fact. You know, like really, like
Hell yeah.
cool. So like that's been part of this lesson too, is Hades is like, here's hell magic, you know, here's underworld magic. But by the way, you know, it's about time you know that that's against the rules. That was not a lie. Witches were burned at the stake. Like, and it is true, like I said, like he's just a god evolving just like the way we're humans evolving. Like it's as above so below. But you know, that's you might even see a lot more results, especially in this realm, if you do take that path. Like if you follow the Christian God and his archangels and you ask for like his wisdom, almost like Solomon, you know, you could literally say, hey, I want to be tutored in the wisdom of Solomon. Like, you know what I mean? So like you can do that, and that's a very fucking real field.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what's right for me.
And you know what's crazy is, so Apollo is actually, and this is where like,
Hey,
this
it's
stuff is very
Scuffy.
real, you know, these myths are referring to real shit, like, Apollon is actually related to Abaddon, who is an angel of the abyss. So even the abyss, which we're talking about, which is like this creepy ass shit, you know, it's very like dark and demonic, hypothetically. Or well, actually, they're jumping in my head and saying like it is. So it's very dark and demonic, you know, the abyss. But at the same time, hell in the abyss,
Hey, it's Cloudy.
is something that is real for God and that He has dominion over in varying degrees. So, yeah, like you could ask angels, you can ask Him, like, you know, I mean, you could even say some such shit like God within the confines of what you believe and what you find appropriate, and like with the biggest humility and respect. Like I want to learn the power of demons, and like that actually was a very real thing for Solomon. I don't know if you know this. Solomon, the real fucking guy, is a real influence in the field of angel. Like he literally was known to command legions of demons and completely control and confine them. Like he was not even nice to spirits. The way Solomon operates is he's like, I confine you and bind you to our will. Like you are a slave now, and I command you to respect that. Like he is not like me, where I treat them, even the dark ones, like I treat them very kindly. Like he's savage, dude. Like, so because of that, he was able to, use these legions of hell quite directly in the service of God.
That's dope.
But actually, you can even look up Enochian magic, and that is angel magic. Enochian magic. They say that Enochian is the language of angels.
I'll need to look that up. That sounds dope. For real.
Yeah, and actually, I would actually like, especially from, the real shit, like, I would really ask for that mentorship. I would even, if you feel so inclined, like, he likes a lot of respect. That's even something I would kind of criticize, and like, Jehovah or Yahweh, is that he wants to be very literally worshipped, he finds it comforting, and that's understandable. So, yeah, I would come to him with a lot of humility and respect, and you could even acknowledge what you're saying about, like, I understand, you have a strong opinion on this subject, but could you tutor me in this sense? Like, could we have a mentorship, and an alliance, and a contract even? And you can even bring in other forces to balance out that contract, if there's anything else you'd believe in, because like I said, I do feel like he has this problem, with the greatest respect. I feel like he overly enforces humility. He really wants that subservience. A lot of people complain that he's not really into the feminine, and you can see that with the stuff in the Bible. And he seems to have problems with women, which I know it's crazy that they're that human. So I would do that, and I would come with him with a lot of humility and respect and compassion and understanding. And ask for like a mentorship, but you definitely could consider asking like some kind of middle ground energy, or even like peace involved or something, or magic to Arthurus, or even like the highest high. You can invite someone to battle to help with the contract. You can invite the highest high to be the other party in the contract, and entities will wage war over who gets to fulfill that role and negotiate the contract with you.
Good. So you
can even ask them their opinions on, I don't know how well you'll be able to hear them, but meditation does help a lot. But you can even ask them, like, what are the pros and cons of this agreement? What am I agreeing to? Like, what are you concerned about the other party? Or things like that.
So you just do that basically like through prayer? That like basically saying this?
No, it comes back to all this being very real, where, literally, prayer, that's what I'm going to say. It comes back to all this being very real. This history of worshiping God, and that stuff is because that's how they like to be treated, that's the situation. So you come to them in prayer, you ask them in your head, you talk to them the same way you always have.
Okay, that's cool. I've never really put the connection of like, just like exploration and prayer being like the same thing. Yeah.
But what were you gonna say? But it's definitely very esoteric, for sure. This is, like I said, it's contraband even. You know what I mean? Like from that God's perspective, the Christian one, I am undoubtedly a very influenced. Like, there's no doubt that he is not so fond of me in a lot of ways. I'm a gay witch, I talk to demons, and I've literally chosen other entities over him. You know what I mean? So we have a peace agreement almost. Literally, like a peace treaty.
Hey, it's tested.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would probably like approach it from like a different perspective, because like it is something that I'm more personally like invested in, and like I do want to have like a very good relationship. So I would probably need to proceed with
Like I said, I would just watch out for him needing complacency into you, or like submission. That's the only thing I'll say is from a very human perspective, is just watch out for that. I feel like he's really the type to kind of just have you work hard your whole life. It seems like that's what he's into, is like almost these old-fashioned ethics of be humble, keep your head down, work the field. But for the point of access, that's my opinion on him. Just watch out for that he's, not giving you as much as other energies would.
Yeah.
And you can just ask them for it. You know, you can just pray on it. But I'm just saying, I would keep your free will, and I would be real with him.
Yeah.
With love and respect.
Because like he knows
And
anyways.
the angels are gonna be
Hey, it's
more.
Nickety.
To be honest, they're gonna be more demonic. You know, they're angels, and angels are demons. So the angels will be willing to give you more of an inside scoop on that type of stuff than he is a lot of the time. Raphael is a messenger of the gods. And like I said, even Abaddon is like the angel of the abyss, you know? So there's definitely, what I'm trying to say is there's Christian options because it's real. So there are Christian options for these things.
That's dope.
That was actually one of the first things I was told I should get into, and like I said, I do summon the 4 archangels, and then to be frank with you, I quite like demons. I have my beef with God. The darker entities, they more understand that rage and vengeance, and also they're very direct because they are kind of like what you would traditionally call evil, where like they pretty much just want to consume and kill. Things like that, like lust and stuff like that. So the thing about that is though, is it's very trustworthy. Like, they are consistent in their failing, you know, and because of that, they are really easy to have dominion over, which I think is something you'll see. I mean, a lot of them almost just want to be like fed, and just by being fed, you know, by angels and stuff like that, they will happily help because it's all they really want. But you know what I mean? They're almost like animals or beasts, like really ancient fucking beasts. Like that's all they want is like go fuck steal, and that's very exploitable to more virtuous energies. The easy thing to manipulate.
So yeah, like even
It's almost like a dog on a leash type of situation, you know?
no matter no matter what like realm you're getting into, like there will always be like a how do I say it, like a spectrum of evil and good.
I would strive for the opinion that evil doesn't exist. I mean, it does in the sense that, like, we as humans, and a lot of people would agree with them, but, you know, it's just a human thing where, like, even in the heavens, like, to be judgmental or to want to eat or steal, you know, it's just kind of being a soul. You know, you can call it evil, but, you know, they just want the need.
Hey, it's Gary.
Yeah, true.
You know, even like the devil being jealous and uprising against God, like, you know, that's just a free will situation. Yeah, that is intense. I definitely don't fuck with the devil, actually.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Fuck that guy.
I've never talked to him and I don't plan on it.
Yeah, me
He
neither.
can be positive, but he's like one of the meanest people about it in the world. Like, I mean, he can like make you ally or like be loving to you, but he's gonna like quite literally like teach you to like kill people. Like he'll teach you like self-protection shit on a very fucking level. Definitely do not fuck with him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't plan on it. Fuck that shit.
Like, the thing is, and that's another thing where, like, to kind of help clarify that even more, like, that's another thing where you could call it evil, but frankly, if you give enough respect and love to literally anything, it will help you, because that's why love is so powerful. And that's why I was saying I agree with you, where I strive to be like a being of peace. Like, I get my power from just being friendly.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I just have a lot of friends.
Because like what power comes from just
That's what
everybody
I'm saying,
hating
is like
you?
literally even the devil himself, like with enough like energy devoted to him, like he'll repay you. But like, you know, that doesn't mean you have to choose the worst possible teacher, you know what I mean? Like you can choose like literally any bad. So, like, why would you choose him over like love or even God or even angels? Like, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense.
Yeah, just
I know people do it
twisted.
mostly because they're bitter at Christianity.
Yeah. And I think that just requires more like learning to be understanding and stuff, you know, to get over that bitterness.
Sure, and honestly, I'm not really encouraging you to, you know, like, my soul comes from a darker place, but a lot of what my soul has learned from that is that I don't want people to do that, you know, like, my soul has bad karma and a lot of suffering, and I take that and run with it in a positive way because I don't want people to see that, you know what I mean? I'm happy to tell people the real nature of these things and tell you things like you shouldn't mess with the devil because, you know, I don't want people to do that, like, truly. So I just mean, like, I do, like, understand the devil, like, I can quite literally play devil's advocate, but a big part of being able to do that is understanding that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yes, I've been in those corridors. Yes, I can play that role like an advocate for the devil quite literally, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't, you know, to talk positively on an entity like that instead of talking positively on literally any other one. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't see the point.
Hey, it's Jones.
But you know, if you follow purely the angelic, they might be able to teach you things like, I'm actually gonna ask them, but nothing. I'm gonna ask like the archangels and angels and Yahweh. I'm asking them, what would you teach if you asked an apprenticeship in pure magic, with love and respect, and within the confines of your rules? Like if you forged a contract.
I
You
get.
want them to understand that magic is within. You can do many things just by thinking about them. Healing others and wards, magical tools and artifacts can be done very easily to align with the Christian God, much like your cross. Burning candles is safe in our traditions and loving and kind. The flame is regarded as holy. That's about all we have to say through you, but we are welcome to this offer.
Yeah, I've always gotten like a nice vibe out of candles. Like they seem just positive.
Yeah, true. That makes me want to light one right now, dude. That's,
I could light one
I would do so much for the energetic atmosphere right now. If I did
for
that.
real. Meditating in a candlelit room is like the best thing ever. Wow, I just got like, huh? I got like the shittiest world record ever while talking.